Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to today's Whips, Bits and Chat. Come on, let's go and see what I got for you today. Right, so I haven't done a great deal of videos over the last couple of weeks. I will explain that later on in this video. So I'm going to take us all the way back to a Whips, Bits and Chat 152, because of course we are now on a 153. So the videos I've put out over the last 2 weeks are book reviews, and only book reviews. Ouch, I am so sorry, guys. Right, so the first one up was a book review, a crochet hacking, and it was by a lovely lady called Emma. Now, I really did like this book, and I had a closer read. Now, normally when I do these book reviews, I come in here, I have the book, it goes in front of the camera, I flick through the same time as you, I give the same reaction, you get to hear my reactions on the book. And then it gets put to one side and the next book is recorded, and I do a batch of them all at the same time, so I don't really pay too much attention to the book. And what I do say during it is, would it make it to my shelf? And in my head it's, am I going to reread this book? Are there patterns in that book that I actually want to make? And if that's the case, then 9 out of 10 times I'd either tell you that I'd borrow it again, or if there's more than a few patterns within the book and I say it'll go on my shelf, that's because there are patterns in there that I desperately want to do. But the majority of the time they are just recorded, they are moved across, the next one's done, and then I take them back to the library, so you guys, if you're in the UK, I can then order them as quick as possible. 9 out of 10 times they're back in the library before the videos are even shown to you. Okay, and that was the case with the book review, the crochet hacking, but I did have a bit closer of a read that evening, and I did actually quite like it, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading through it. Some of the techniques in there are really quite crazy and really quite nice. Okay, the next one up is the book review, A Crochet Wild Animals, by Vanessa Montague, or however her name is said. Now these are really beautiful little patterns. They would be ideal for nurseries, and as I don't have babies and I'm not going to be getting any grandkids anytime soon, I'm really hopeful here, this book really wouldn't make it to my bookshelf because the patterns are lovely and simple and ideal for little ones, not ideal for the age group that I have that like the more complicated dragons. Okay, yeah, so those were the two books that went out. And also there was a pattern release, a video. Make sure you watch that one all the way through because there is a cheeky discount code included. I'm not going to tell you any more than that. Go and have a nose at the videos that are in the I button, because I'm an evil wench today. And of course on Saturday there was a video for theworks.co.uk because of course they've got another sale on, and now this time it is for the yarn. There is also some kits and there are also some books and hooks all on special, so have a nose at that if you haven't had a chance to see it. Now some of their prices are really good, and other prices the Secret Yarn Stash still beats them on, but it's still worth going and having a look if of course they've got brands in there that you prefer using. Right, so what have I been up to all of this last couple of weeks? Well, if you'd seen me over on OM and Granny Squares earlier on in the week, I did actually show a shawl that I nearly finished. I've done it. I finally finished it. I've got some giggles for you in a moment about it, mind. But the shawl is this one here. I'm hoping the light's going to do it justice, and I'll show it to you in a moment because it is a nice big triangular one. Now this is the Rambling Roses shawl, and it is on a channel over here on YouTube called It's Crochet O'Clock, where it was a crochet along about 3 or 4 years ago. The original pattern designer was Pippin Poppycock. Now I have to be really careful when I say that name because my old cat used to be called Pippi as an abbreviation. So yeah, it's Pippin Poppycock. Now here is the shawl in a bit more detail. Now when I first showed you the colour choices, some of the girls weren't too sure. Oh, now have you changed your mind though? So here we go. Come on light, pick it up nicely for me. Oh, I've still got some ends I've just spotted. But here we go, that is the shawl. And I do love it. It is lovely, and it is, as you can tell because of the top underneath, one of my favourite colours. So it does, I think, look lovely. But I made the biggest, largest boo-boo, that's a polite way of putting it, isn't it? I would say something else, but I'm on YouTube and I shouldn't. I made the biggest, fattest boo-boo because when I first made this pattern a good few years ago, I thought I was quite early on in my crochet journey, and I'd made it with a red roses, not the purple that I just showed you. So this thing was massive. It laid across the top of a 2-seater sofa. It was brilliant. It was massive. It went down a really long way. So of course when it came to making it again, I was like, right, I want it the same length as I'd previously made. But in my head, I really shouldn't have listened to my head, but in my head I thought I'd used a 3.5mm hook, and I thought I'd used my old hooks, which were the two that I bought from a charity shop, a 3 and a 3.5. So I picked up my new hooks in a 3.5, although the pattern said a larger size, 4.5, or was it even 5? I'm not too sure. But of course the pattern called for a larger hook, which I ignored. My yarn that I was using is thicker than the Stylecraft that they'd said use, so it wasn't like it was going to do the pattern any damage. If anything, using a larger hook would have been better. Using the same size hook that they used would have been perfect. But I chose a 3.5, so now it's too short. So for me, it's a lovely shawl. It's gorgeous. And yes, I will probably be making it again in probably the same colours because I wanted it longer. And it was down to my muck up that I didn't get a longer shawl, and it wasn't until I'd started piecing together the roses that I realised my muck up, because it just didn't feel long enough. And I'd even when I'd got to the end of the stripe section, I was like, this doesn't remind me of the length and the amount I was having to move it. Oh, says me in my head, don't worry about it. You was a new crocheter back then and your brain's a bit frazzled now, so you may have forgotten. No, I should have listened to my brain and my doubting and that little voice going, wrong hook from row 30 onwards. But it's still an absolutely a gorgeous shawl. I will of course be popping up some pictures when I can, but as I said, I have been teasing people over on Instagram, and I've been teasing you for ages, showing you a little bits and pieces as we go along, and the lighting in here is rubbish Give me a second, I'm going to turn the main one on. Now, will this main light do any difference? Oh, no, not really. It wasn't worth me getting off my butt. But yeah, as I said, this is the shawl. It does look quite complicated. Oh, I'm going all over the place with it. It does look quite complicated, but the cowl is split into sections, and each section is explained so beautifully, so beautifully, that even though you look at the roses and you're like, how complicated are they? They are a little bit to start off with, but once you're 2 or 3 roses in, you don't really need the tutorial anymore. You just go, oh, okay, I remember how to do this now, and you're off and you're whizzing around making them. Now, there is a variation on this pattern. I have changed this pattern a little bit, and it's to do with the back. Basically, on the original pattern, they don't have solid squares. Okay, it's not a solid back. There is actually a gap, and you can see through the back of your work easily to the back of the rose. Now, I didn't like that, and I remember not liking it when I made the pattern the first time round, so I made a couple of little squares in granny stitch little squares, and I sewed them to the center. So that is how I've changed the pattern for me. Okay, it's not something that's actually needed, and it does take you an extra day or 2 to do, because you need 19 of them and then you need to sew them in. But I made the flower squares first, as the video said, and then I attached my little granny square. Now, it doesn't notice, but that much. I might be able to bring it closer to the camera, whether the camera picks up on it or not. Oh, there we go. So as you can see, it's not perfect. Oh, I'm fighting with the autofocus here so that we can still get the light on it. It's not perfect, okay? Now, my square is done in double crochets, whereas the outer square, which is the pattern itself, is all done in singles in black. Single crochets in black. Ooh, that was a tough bit. So to make the adjustment, I just did a magic ring, and then I placed in 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and I repeated that 4 times in total, so that you get your granny square corner. And then I went up to the next row, which was what was it? There's a 5 double crochets, sorry, along the top, separated by a chain 2, and then I did a 3rd round, which means that you have 7 double crochets running along, with of course a chain 2, and that is where I stopped. That's where I sewed in the ends, and then of course I sewed the 2 sections together. So that's a solid granny. So if you need more information on how to do a solid granny, of course, I'm not sure if I've got a video. If I have, I will pop the video up in the I button. If I haven't, of course, just type in a solid granny square and there will be loads of tutorials available for you on YouTube. What other crochet have I been up to? Well, when I went to the library a couple of weeks last week, I picked up a book that I've been looking forward to getting. Actually, I'm not going to give you too many details because you're going to hear about it all through July. Yeah, it's a Christmas in July. It is all the way through July. So at the moment I am working on patterns from that book, and I'm getting there. Okay, so I'm about 1/10 of the way through. So yay. So that's going to be my go-to project for throughout the day, because of the colouring on this particular book on the pages. When it gets late, it's got a shine on it, and if I put the camera on, not the camera, sorry, the light on in the lounge, the light bounces and it causes havoc with my eyes. So trying to read it in low light, or evening light I should say, is a no-go. So I'm doing the pattern out of that book, or the patterns I should say, out of that book during the day. And I'm not going to spiel any more than that. Okay, so if some of you eagle eyes may have noticed, I'm not wearing my roundy cool new glasses. I'm back on the old ones. Yeah, the last couple of weeks since I got my new prescription, I noticed that I was getting eye strain on my left eye, which is my dodgy eye, which I don't really use that much. It sounds strange, but honestly I feel like I use my right eye a lot more than my left. And but I'd been getting eye strain, so by about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening, the head was starting to pound and everything was having to be put down and the room had to stay dark, so I wasn't crocheting in the evenings. And this, it kept going, and I'm thinking, okay, I've been told I've just got to get used to the glasses. Okay, so I'd been sitting using my driving glasses, and of course I couldn't read anything on the telly, I couldn't read out of a book because the distance set for those glasses were miles away. But I was wearing them throughout the day because of course I'm used to wearing glasses all day, every day. Okay, they are like an ear roll. They're part of me. I've had glasses since I was 18 months. I don't know how to deal with not having glasses. So I had been using the driving ones. Well, of course, my daughter had some time off school, so I was like, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to go on to the reading glasses and put those on. And it was brilliant. I could read. I could see the print for the most part, unless it was the back of a cooking instructions for something that had to go in the oven. And then I was still passing it over to my husband going, this print's too small. But I'd been wearing my reading glasses throughout the day because of course I'm doing crocheting, close work. I was reading out of books. I was looking at my little tablet. I was even coming in here and looking on the computer on here. So as far as I was concerned, I was doing more of that than anything else. So wear reading glasses. Still can't read the print off the telly properly because it's still a double bounces and blurs. But I thought, it's okay, my eyes will get used to it. Again, headaches, migraines, not working. So a couple of days ago I went back to the opticians and I said to there was a big reason why. I got in the car and I swapped to my reading glasses, and as I've put them on there was a smudge, so I thought, oh, I'll give them a quick clean. As I went like that, the lens popped out, so I'm like, right, okay, brilliant. I've got to go back to the opticians anyway. That's forced my hand. So hubby took me back to the opticians. I've walked in, I've given them a broken pair of glasses, stating these are my reading glasses. I've only had them for a couple of weeks and they are only on my face for 20 minutes because after 20 minutes I start getting eye strain and it really hurts. So now I've got to go back for another appointment to have the woman shine the light in my eyeballs, give me a full-blown migraine, to tell me that they've got the wrong prescription in them, and that yeah. I hate opticians. I should explain. Some people don't like spiders, some people don't like creepy crawlies. I don't like the optician's light. I don't like opticians, and I don't like things coming towards my eyeballs. That is my phobia that seems to have appeared in the last sort of 10 to 15 years, and I can't work out why. Well, I can. It might be down to the fact I've had drops sprayed in my eyes. Could be down to the fact that my daughter had an eye operation and I got to see the after effects of her eye operation, where I had to add drops and cream and stuff like that, and it's horrible. Or it could be the fact that my dad lovingly told me step by step how they did his operation to remove his glaucoma, and the fact that he was awake. Sick and twisted, my dad, proper sick and twisted. But in regards to the glasses, of course, it's another appointment, another migraine, and another wait for new glasses. But when I was there, they told me that I shouldn't be wearing either of these pairs of glasses for a decent length of time. Shouldn't be wearing them all day, because of course when I went in I turned up in my reading glasses, because it was the driving glasses that were broken, hence a few seconds ago it being written on screen. I turned up in my reading glasses and she said, you shouldn't be wearing them all the time. And I was like, well, I told the optician that I need a pair of glasses on constantly, and that I do a lot of close work because of the crochet, because of writing on the computer, because of reading out of books or off my tablet. I do a lot of close work, and she assured me that they were the glasses I needed, but she hadn't said anything about the length of time they should be worn. So I'm happily back to these ones. It's taken me 2 days to get my eyes used to them again. But as you can see, my eyes dart all over the place like they used to do, and they're back to being happy, and so am I, because I haven't got a stinking migraine yet. Fingers crossed I don't get one by the end of today, because I've been on this computer all day making you guys videos, and you'll get to see some of them next week. Talking about videos that will be coming out to you next week on the 2nd, which is a Tuesday, so it'll be the 2nd of May. I'm starting a crochet along, which is the Little Bird C2C tutorial. It is video number 1, and video number 1 is rows 1 to 20 of this cheeky pattern here. Oh, there we go. Okay, now actually let's show it to you as the cushion. Sorry for the rustling, I'm using it to hide yarn. Okay, so there we go. This is the cushion cover that you will be getting you will be seeing coming up over the next few weeks, that you could of course make. Right, let's put that down because that's very noisy. Okay, now the front of that of course has the bird, and the back is a striped section, and it is an envelope fold. Okay, so there's all your big fat clues. Now, of course, video 1 will be talking you through rows by rows, and of course we'll tell you what yarn you are going to need, or at least the colours that you are going to need. But of course the choice is yours at the end of the day. We could end up with a cheeky pink and blue, and like me, we could end up with something, we could end up with black, we could end up with all sorts. Bestie has threatened to do me a gothic version. I'm still waiting, woman, and it's getting released on Tuesday. Come on, cough up the image. No, she hasn't even started it yet. But yeah, so is the Little Bird. Now the videos for that one of course start on coming out every Tuesday for the next few weeks. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3. Yep, you've got 3 of those. There is also going to be at some point a C2C join as you go method, ideal for joining the C2C blocks and images and stuff, so that if you wanted to turn it into a blanket you could by using that information there. There is also a written pattern over on Ravelry for you. Now the written pattern has 3 graphs, one with the bird facing each way so that you can choose to put it each way, and the information and the patterns of course for not only the cushion but also a blanket. Now I have set you up with a 20% off discount code, and the code is a bird, which is written here with all the extra information. Now the pattern is normally a $4.99. But with this discount code it gives you a pound off, so that turns into a $3.99. That's not bad going, considering there is 12 pages of information. Let me just tell you, it tells you about the yarn amounts that you are going to need to be able to make 3 bird panels and 3 striped panels, as well of course the envelope fold for the cushion. It also gives you, was it, so yeah, we've got the 3 charts, we've got videos on how to do the C2C stitch as it is. Oh, I'm getting in a right kerfluffle. Oof. Right, so the pattern includes 3 charts and the written instructions on how to do C2C. Row by row box counts for each of the charts. Okay, so basically I tell you how many of each of the little boxes you are going to need to do in each colour within each row. It makes it easier than me having to write it down constantly. Okay, so we got the box counts, and you get the pattern directions for the Edwardian style edging, which is this cute little edging here. Okay, that's the closest I've ever shown you. Okay, so you've got that edging, and also the last page of the written pattern has close-up videos for your reference. But of course, if you do decide to print out the pattern, you can omit the first and the last page, saving you some ink. Within the pattern as well, there is also 8 hyperlinks. So if you're viewing the pattern, say on a tablet or on a computer, and it is connected to the internet, you can click on those and that will direct you straight to the video tutorials. Okay, so it takes you through how to do C2C, some tips and tricks, as well as, of course, all the video tutorials that are coming up for this next month. And also you get the video on how to do the Edwardian style border. Now that is not going to be released during this cow on the channel. It is just for the people that purchase the written pattern. Now I'm sorry, I've done this so that the people that purchase the pattern actually get something that not everybody else is going to get, because that would really upset me if I bought a pattern and it had a tutorial that came out at the same time. And yeah, so that's what I've done with that. Don't get me wrong, I may bring out the border maybe next year. We'll just have to wait and see. You also, of course, will get contact information for me as in my email, Facebook link, and of course a link to YouTube. But that's all in the description of this video anyway, so you get the same there. But then that's done just in case you have any questions, or of course if you want to show me your completed or part work as you go along. It'd be really lovely, to be honest, if anybody doing the crochet along with me, or anybody that has bought the pattern, actually shows me their work in progress. Pop it up on the Facebook group, or of course find me over an email and then I can show it off to you all next week. Promise. I'm getting back to it now. I've not got the consistent headaches, because I tell you what, I was like a proper bear with a sore head. I was such a grumpy snot bag that the family deserted me. They would come in and just go, "Here's a drink, darling," says husband. Daughter would be, "I've been down the shop, here's some chocolate." And the dog's like, "Nah, forget this. I'll ask someone else to open the back door." Right, so here we are. It's time to pick a winner from, what is it? Whips, Bits and Chat 150. I asked you what video I showed a certain particular yarn, and what video was it dyed on. Now, the answer was on screen, and it was in the comments section down below, and there was also a link to it in the I button. So as far as I'm concerned, I got it covered, and you guys all had the best possible chance to find the answer without having to really go hunting. And the video, of course, was 05. So I've put the number 5 in the random comment picker, and fingers crossed this one will work. I've tried others. They've not worked, but there's quite a few of you this time round. So because of that, I wanted to doubly check. Now, the problem with this particular one is it doesn't tell us how many people have done it. Just know there was a few of you compared to normal, so it would have taken me about an hour and a half to put everybody's name on the spinny wheelie thing. So let's pick a winner, and fingers crossed, good luck to everybody, and fingers crossed this works for me. Ready? Steady, go! Pick a winner. The URL is incorrect. No, it flipping wasn't. Look. Alright, let's try this one again. Okay, let's try doing it from this video link. Oh.
Nice and easy, mix and down.
Right, share. So copy link that way. Back to you. Oh dear, this is a nightmare, everybody. Yeah, it had an edit at the end, didn't it? Okay, so we've got the number 5. I've removed order of comments. I've removed duplicates, I hope. Put the number 5 in. Fingers crossed it picks up the number 5. Let's go. No, I'm not a robot. What else are you going to do? There we go. Any chance? You've been stitched up, girl. It says, hello, love the jumper. Confession, I've done no more on string. She actually will be showing you how far she's got later on. But she's doing it today. Yay. There's a bit more to it. And yes, that comment did in fact have the 05 in it. Okay, so congratulations, Ninja. You've gone and done it. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to pick another one. Are you ready? Fingers crossed, everybody. No, I'm not a robot. Alright, we ready? Let's see who it has chosen now. That's... Oh, what is going on? Number of winners. No. Pick a winner. I'm not a robot. This is doing my nutting. So why isn't it pick a winner? Not a robot. Jump down. Daily limit exceeded. So basically you're only allowed to use this one once. No! That's pants. Pants, 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 pants. So congratulations once again, Aragurumi Ninja. You know the plan. You know what you got to do. Leave me a comment. Drop me an email / Facebook message saying, ooh, I've seen the video. And we will discuss which pattern you would like. Whether you're going to go for another winner only pattern, or if you're going to cheekily try and talk me into letting you have one off of the Ravelry shop. Now it's time for the bestest bit, which is your photographs. Now, of course, I'm trying to think who I've got and in what order. Let me grab them and then I will tell you. Okay, let's pause that for a second. I've just opened my emails and I've got an email from Ursula at OM and Granny Square. Now, she has just sent me, well, she hasn't just, she sent me this on Wednesday, but I've only just got around to opening it and reading it. I've been so bad with emails. But anyway, she says, hello, Poppy. To sort of celebrate this event of 7k subscriber milestone. Oh my gosh, she's got to a 7k. Congratulations, darling. She's saying though that she has marked her beautiful friend's shawl down to 50% discount until the end of May 2023. And she said if I want to mention it to you guys, and maybe add a link in the description box down below, she'd really appreciate it. So I thought if you haven't been over to Ursula's to see the pattern, or of course got hold of the link from her and the discount, you can grab it from my description box down below. Okay, now this is my version of her shawl. Ignore the border because yeah, my border's completely different to hers. And I've also done mine in a 3-weight, where she's done hers in a fingering weight, and it is absolutely stunning. It has a really cool border on it, and I was really looking forward to doing that until I ran out of yarn, so that's why this one's got this tatty border. Okay, but there we go. And of course the colour pack I chose was File. But here you go. How cool is that? Hopefully you can see the details in that without the stripes that are doing your head in too much. But it is an absolutely lovely pattern, and it didn't take me too long to knock this one up either. I can't quite remember how long it took me. You'll have to check probably Whips and Bits from a fortnight ago. I'll have given you all the details in it there. But yeah, there is, as I said, a link in the description box to OMG's Ravelry site, where of course you've got that automatic discount of 50% off her written pattern. Right, now let me find what I came here to look for in the first place. Okay, so now back to your photos. First up was our cheeky dinky Jen, and I'm calling her cheeky because she sent me a picture over, and it was a cool picture. It had lots of little black circles for the middles, and she said, look what I found in a bag. I'm going to use these for the poppies. And I was sitting there and I'm looking at them. I thought, you never know, might work. I then received a message later on going, now I can't cheat. these have been made for something, for a granny square start off. I ain't going to be able to use these for the poppies. So it's a shame Dinky didn't manage to make those. But I think she's got a reasonable total. But I can't remember if I've actually shown you the image or not. Off I go to look at last week's video. Right, Dinky hasn't done an update on her amount that she has finished. So let's move on to Crafty Moo Sarah. Now Crafty Moo has been taking a little bit of red and black yarn with her wherever she goes because she's realised it's a really cool project to have in your handbag for when you just need something to fill in 5 to 10 minutes. Perfect. So she's been going a bit bat crazy, really crazy. She's been crocheting along, and here is a couple of new pictures, I hope. But her poppy count is now sitting at 70. Oh my gosh, girl, that is amazing. Now, I can't remember, I know you're using Stylecraft for your poppies, but what I can't remember is if you are using scrap balls and then, or if you're using a full 100 gram. Because if you're using the full 100, tell me how many you get out of that one ball, girl. Right, go on, let's have a look at her photos, and don't forget to pop a congratulations in the comments section down below for her. She's doing absolutely amazing. She's up to 70. Okay, so now it is time for another update from Aragurumi Ninja. Now, of course, she won the no strings pattern, which is one of my Dismay corner to corner mystery patterns, and you can only get your hands on them if you win them. I do not sell those particular patterns, so it's really lovely actually, because I've not had anybody else make this one yet, although 20 of you at least have got your hands on the pattern. Only Ninja has dared do it so far. Okay, so I'm not going to say anything more than have a look at this. That's right, she went and finished it. It looks amazing, Ninja. Okay, now I've got to really step up my game and have another go at making the border for you. And basically, I did it. I did a video, put video together, then looked at it the next day and went, that looks like pants. So sent Ninja a dodgy photograph of what it looked like, and then video timed her, and she said, Ange, that looks like pants. So we decided not to bother with that pattern. I've got to think of another one. But yeah, it's just a case of working that through. But Ninja's happy to wait because she's got some other projects on the go at the moment that she wants to finish anyway. But isn't he gorgeous? She did sit down with me and tell me what they were all, the amount of weights of yarn that she used, and I promptly lost it. So Ninja, expect another phone call so we can work it out again. I know I should have just recorded it. It would have made life so much easier. Right, it's getting late in the day here and my brain is clearly shutting down. So I'm going to head off now. I will see you all really soon. Please remember to stay chilled, stay happy and keep crafting. Goodbye, everybody.